Hello and welcome to another episode of the XRM Toolcast with me, your host, Daryl, always raising the bar, and Scotty Stickers Duro. Go with that one today because as you may, if you're watching the video, you may notice that my laptop is in pristine shape, unaltered.
It's
unaltered.
naked.
It's the way God intended it to be. Okay, Scott. It's free. It's free for any inhibitions.
Look at the attractiveness of all these stickers. I have got a ribbon workbench sticker that I could give you, and you could put it right in the middle of your laptop.
You could, but that would be my that'd be my virgin sticker. I'm not sure if I want that to be my virgin sticker though. I mean, kind of need my own sticker if I was going to do that. I don't know.
Well, I mean, the fact that everyone can see these laptops so clearly is down to these guys that are letting us kind of come and do this podcast here in this amazing setup.
We are coming live from the community news desk here at Summit. So yes, it's a great place to be able to do this, and probably the best audio and video quality we will ever have.
We will never have such good audio and visual quality. And I'm staring at you like face to face. Which is interesting. Across the desk. This is the first time this ever happened. So, but kudos, guys. Thanks ever so much for letting us do this.
Yes.
And yeah, we are located actually on the floor of the Expo Hall from Community Summit. Uh-huh. And through these windows here, you can see all of the different booths set up. It's a bit early, so there's no one around, but it's amazing. We're kind of navigating the COVID social distancing, I think.
I think it's also interesting depending on where they come from, they're used to different COVID protocols or norms at this point in time. So I know from our conversations, you're much more restricted than I am in Indiana, and different states are different even within the U.S. So yes, it's interesting to see who's like, everyone's not wearing a mask. Should I keep on wearing a mask? Or everyone is wearing a mask. And so, yes, it's very interesting to kind of see those norms play out from the day-to-day, hour-to-hour interactions with people.
Yeah, definitely. But I think it's working. Yeah. Everyone's respectful.
Uh-huh.
And, I mean, you sneezed into your mask.
Yes, I did do that in the airport. I was like, okay, I guess I'm going to sneeze in my mask because I'm not going to pull it down to sneeze. And I did get a couple bless yous from the person next to me, so I figured maybe I'd get an evil eye or something, but no, just a couple. So yes, I just am looking forward to things returning to normal as quickly as we can do that.
But it's lucky. Lucky to be. I feel lucky to be here. Yes. You have the opportunity because so many people around the world, they can't travel at all. So,
yes.
Do you see on Twitter, Jonas posted some pictures of him on the aeroplane flying to South Coast Summit?
No, I didn't see that.
That's happening this weekend.
Okay, all right.
So yeah, Jonas is going there. So if our listener, I can't say our listener anymore.
Yes, we have actually met listeners.
Here,
real life people that have shown up and said, "Hey,
yeah,
I listened to the podcast."
Well, 3 at least.
3, yes. We was Chad. Chad was one, and then what was the other one? Chris. Chris was another one, at least, that came up. And there's a third, too, I think, in there, too.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
we'll see.
It's good to hear that people, so I have to start saying our 3 listeners now.
Yes, our 3 listeners. So thank you to our 3 listeners out there. Yes. Don't all listen at once. It may take up all of our bandwidth.
But the conversations, I think that's the thing that's really special for me for Summit. It's being able to have these just casual, you run into people in the corridor, you just, someone recognizes you, or, you're talking after one of your sessions. And you just have these nice little conversations.
Yes.
There was that really nice phrase that Rebecca used.
Yes. Will you love me enough to do this for me?
Yes.
So it's kind of hard to say no to that.
Yeah, because she was, I think she was sort of a business analyst, kind of administrator.
Yeah, CM administrator was on her badge. I remember that.
And so she had like a development team, and she seemed to really get on well with her development team, which is really nice
she
to
had
hear.
Nothing but praise for her developers.
Yeah.
Who I don't hear that a whole.
You don't? No.
Of course, I usually come into a project if someone else has been on it, and they badmouth the people that were on it. So, whether or not they were any worse or better than anyone else, I don't know. I just try to be better looking. That's what I try to do.
Yeah, you're clearly, people can see you're clearly
That's
better
the most
looking.
important part, of course.
But yeah, anything positive towards development teams. And of course, Microsoft are all about fusion teams now.
Yes.
And how both sides can work really well with each other, and how to optimize that relationship from a technology perspective, and allow both sides to get involved with the technology rather than the traditional side, which is like...
Yeah. I've been on some projects where, like, only devs can customize the system. Like, why is this? Why are we doing this?
Yeah, it's dangerous to let anyone that's not a developer touch anything.
No one else
Don't let them do it.
Yeah. If they don't know how to code, then they can't touch the ribbon workbench. Like, what? No.
Yeah.
Like, no. They can. They may struggle with it like anyone else will, dev or not. But they'll figure it out and be just fine at it. So
exactly. Yeah. So that's good to hear. But because I did one of my sessions on the ribbon workbench talking about commanding V2, Power FX, and which it was again really nice after the session to have a bit of chit chat with people. And people are very excited about being able to use PowerFX and low code.
So you said commanding V2. So the commanding V1 is the ribbon workbench, sort of XML ribbon stuff.
Yeah, the old style. Classic.
Was it ever called commanding?
I don't know. I think it was never called commanding when there was a ribbon, right? But yeah, then there was a command bar, and then somehow commanding became a thing. Okay. Yeah, it wasn't my phrase.
All right. Yeah. And I didn't know you were working with Microsoft on this. Someone told me, he was like, Scott never told me this. I thought we knew each other. I thought we were friends, Scott.
I'm sorry, Daryl. I need to share. Obviously, I need to share more personal stuff.
I thought you would love me enough to share with everything.
You're going to use that phrase everywhere. So we're going to use it with our kids. I'm going to my daughter. Will you love me enough to take the dog for a walk?
Yes, I think that may work once or twice, but then I think it's going to work in reverse extremely well. Will you love me enough to go throw a football in the rain or something?
Yeah, they'll just throw it straight back at you and manipulate us.
Yes, they do excel at that, don't they?
Very, very good. Yeah, but I think commanding and Power FX are kind of a big topic, and because you did your session on, we've done loads. I mean, how many sessions have you done?
I've done 3 so far. I've got 2 more today. So I had a 6th one, but that got canceled because somehow I got double booked. And it's supposed to be Ask the Experts, and it's just going to be Andrew Batenko and I. And Andrew, unfortunately, got sick, and so he was not able to come. Miss him dearly. So, Andrew, if you're listening, we miss you. Get better soon. So it was just going to be me doing the Ask the Experts session. I'm like, no, that's not going to go very well. I have a very narrow but tall silo of knowledge, so if they don't ask in there, I need other people to help answer questions. So, so I think last time I was at Summit, we had, 6 or 7 MVPs for Ask the Experts, and I had many people say that was the best session of the Summit, was that one, because they were able to ask all those questions. But so that one got canceled. So now I only have 5 rather than 6.
Still, that's a lot of sessions. You're just such a pro. You just kind of...
Yeah, it comes from just submitting a lot of sessions, I think. I don't know if they were desperate for people to be in person, and so they said, hey, you're going to be here. Let's just accept every single one.
They weren't desperate. So, they wanted you specifically.
Sure, I'll tell myself that and sleep better at night. Thanks, Scott. Appreciate it.
But the session that you did on the XRM unit test framework, you did that was fantastic. And what I'm always amazed about Summit is I'm always surprised that there are so many people from different areas. So you have these people that are doing coding, developers, and then you also have the administrators, you have business analysts, you have people who are product owners, those kind of people. So such a wide range of topics. And so your room was quite healthily full.
It was pretty full.
I mean, the number of people here obviously is less than previous summits for obvious reasons, but still, there's enough people here to make it feel good, and I feel like a buzz and coming together. So it was really good to see lots of people there. But I said on my YouTube. Did you watch my YouTube?
The one you
vlog.
Yes, yes, it was very interesting.
And I said, you just basically it's like voodoo magic stuff that you showed.
I commented on that and said something about voodoo magic. That's maybe I should rename the project to XRM Voodoo Magic Unit Test or something.
But yeah, I mean, you live coding on screen, some voodoo magic, and everyone's like, "Wow, that's amazing!" But it was great to see because a lot of people seem to be still using the plugin profiler. To debug their plugins.
Yeah, I would say a majority, easily a majority of people still used it to debug their plugins. And when I'm like, all right, my session's like, hey, I'm going to create a plugin with unit testing in an hour. It was actually 40 minutes because that session was only 40 minutes. The XM unit test was an hour and 20 minutes, or hour 30, I guess. I did an hour and 20, I don't know. So that one was a little tight to get that in there, but I got it in 30 minutes. So I had 10 extra minutes to go through stuff. But walking through that that plugin and then being, all right, so you want to debug your plugin? Boom, I'm already here. I put a port in and I run and I debug and I just see
everyone. Whoa.
Yeah, which is so nice to have in person rather than remote, because you have no idea if that's hitting or not. Even the tech person in the back of the room, I was like, I think she's getting this. Like, I just assumed she was an audio person, and no, but she actually was doing some work on the side. I guess maybe this was her side gig, and she's like, yeah, I really appreciate it. I was like, what? You're just being nice. You have no idea what's going on. But no, I think she did, and I think she was getting it. So it was even that was interesting.
No, that's right. So. I mean, you mentioned the tech people. It is phenomenal the amount of work that's gone in to be able to do this summit, because every single room at the back of the room, they've got a full streaming rig. I mean,
and they have to go through and set up the video and everything else at the same time, and they're there the whole session too. So they have to have a person in every single room.
That's right. Yeah.
Which that's impressive.
And they're also like optimizing moving stuff around to make sure that the video and the chat window are not obscuring anything for the stream. So it's like they're running a full-blown stream in every session. And there's a lot of overlapping sessions as well. There's sort of more sessions going on in parallel than I was expecting there to be.
Yeah.
Which sometimes makes it difficult to
they're well. When you have 5 sessions, it's hard to attend any other session. So I'm like, hey, that looks great. Oh, yeah. I'm speaking of it. Oh, that looks great. I'm speaking of that one. So, so I think I've attended like 1 session besides mine. Oh, then also for the I did one on the we used to be on the Canvas app packager, which now Microsoft has their own version within the PAC. And so I was like, I need to convert from that to this. And so I finally got around to doing that. But I was doing it like the morning of the presentation, trying to get it done. I was like, okay, I need to leave my hotel at 11 o'clock. And I looked on my computer, it was 11:05. I was like, oh no! And so I take off running. And then I looked on my watch, like, it's 10:05. My computer's still in Eastern time. And I was in Central. I had a whole extra hour. So
that's not a bad thing, right?
Yeah. Sure, I'm prepared, always.
Some people do like to live their whole lives by setting their watches
ahead of time.
The
clocks in our kitchen are set ahead by about 3 or 4 minutes. So
see, I just don't understand that. I mean, why not just plan a bit better? No, can't do that.
No. So you also did a session on Sparkle. How did that go over? How did people handle that? Or
I haven't done a full session because we did a session together, so that was really the only time I mentioned it.
Oh, okay, all right.
I had someone come up to me afterwards actually and ask me more about that. But so the session we did together, you were looking at how you can build a plugin right from the beginning. I mean, and again, kudos, you just did it straight there. You built the whole plugin, did all the unit tests, deployed it, working. But it could have been better. It could have been even more.
I'm not good enough in your eyes. That's all right. That's all I'm hearing, Scott.
No, I wrapped it up. Yes, I wrapped it up in a compliment.
You gave me, okay. Yeah, and you're going to end it with a compliment sandwich. I got it.
Of course, yeah. But yeah, I mean, just the steps where you got to the point where you build your unit test, you build your plugin, you know it's working, and then you had to open up the plugin registration tool
to go and manually register it.
Yeah, and so you had to kind of go and pick the right message, pick the right pre-post, and then you had to pick the right entity, whereas the Sparkle Task Runner allows you to create that attribute, just one-liner in your plugin code. So you check into source code, and then you just simply run deploy plugins, and it will always register it.
What I need to do is go look at the xkcd. I don't know if you know that blog, the comic, but it has a chart for how often do you do something, how long does it take, and how much time will you save if you actually do it. Because when you live in this world of, hey, I only do I don't do unit tests, you're deploying a plugin multiple times, and any way of saving that is great. When I live in my world where I deploy the plugin like at the end of the day or once.
Sorry, it's that fly again.
Oh, is there that fly?
It's that fly.
I almost got it.
That fly has been...
It's been in here all the time. It went into my eye.
It attacked me
earlier.
I
actually squeezed it like chopstick style from Karate Kid.
It's the same one as well. I recognize it. Sorry to interrupt you there. Yeah, I was just, it was about to fly into you, to attack you.
You saved me, Scott.
I appreciate that. Sorry, you were saying,
I don't know what I was saying. The fly got me. Distracted by a fly.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is that whenever you're doing these things over and over again, I think that's when people's eyes light up when you show them something that they have to repeat over and over again, and it takes a lot of time. And you show them how they can actually just use something to automate it. That I think that's they take that away. And a lot of people have come to me and said, "Oh yeah, Daryl's session, that's great, because I'll go back and I'm going to refactor some stuff and I'm going to make it better." But there's a lot of pressure though as well. It makes you. I hope that it goes well. Yeah,
I hope that it goes. Yes, and I don't get a whole lot of questions afterwards, which either tells me that they either give up or they succeed, and I'm not sure which way it is.
Yeah.
I have had some person in Europe that actually has been talking to me a lot about some XRM unit test stuff that they've been getting into, and so far things, I've seen him grow and get more and more knowledge under his belt. So it's been kind of interesting to see that. But
well, when you're doing the session next, I want to see Sparkle Task Runner in it.
Okay, I'll have to. All right, that'll be the next time I do the session. I'll have to include Sparkle, but that also means I have to change the way that I register my plugin events within my plugin.
It doesn't,
class.
though. I don't think so.
Well, I mean, I don't want to define it twice, because I go through and define for the pre-operation do this, for the post-operation do that.
Well, if you think about the registration, the Sparkle attribute, just think about it. Instead of using the plugin registration tool, you use that. That's literally what it is. It's not opinionated in any other way.
It's not. I'm not double dipping.
No. All you're doing is you're just saying, this is my plugin class. I want to register it on these messages on this pipeline.
With these filters.
With these filter attributes. With this pre and post images. Exactly. That's all you're doing. And it's at the class level. So you can still do all the base class stuff that you're doing.
One thing I love about these conferences is you can sit down and talk nerdy to people, right? You talk to something that I've spent the last 10 years of my life just being 100% consumed in this technology, and there's other people that are maybe 3 years into it or a year into it, and so it's great to do that. But
the medic desk. So I was on the medic desk yesterday, and we were having some really good conversations, and what I love about it is it's exactly that. You get questions that you can't answer. And you've got no idea, or integrating with different products that you've never used before, and it allows you to just sort of explore different avenues and broadens your horizon for how things work. But there's so much changing. I mean, that coming to a conference like this, I use it as an opportunity just to sit back and relax a little bit and just take a broader view of all the products and see how they're all fitting together, talk to different people about how they're using them, because it's very easy to get tunnel vision when you're working on just one thing.
I just love walking around. We're walking around together in the whatever this area is. What's this area? This is the what's this area?
Expo Hall.
Expo Hall. Thank you. I could not think of that for some reason. And walk around with you, and we go to someone, and they quickly go in their sales pitch, and pitch, and you're like, so do you have a connector for flow or whatever? I mean, you went in, and they're like, oh no, we don't. We need to go do that. So rather than them giving you a sales pitch, you were telling them, hey, you need to get more invested.
I was doing the sales pitch.
Yes. And I was like, man, I was just sitting back in the mind. I was like, wow, he did that so effortlessly, and I don't think it was just the accent that was doing it.
No, it's just the accent.
It was just the accent.
That's all it is. Yeah.
The accent which you told me your daughter makes fun of.
She does now. Yeah, absolutely. Having lived in North America for a year,
she's now converting over. She's abandoning.
She's now mocking my English accent. Yes, my beloved daughter. But yeah, I mean, there's so many stuff. The keynote yesterday, was that keynote? Yesterday?
It was yesterday, and that was when I was going through and doing my session and trying to get it ready to go.
So you didn't get
I didn't get to go to it. So we talked later to the president of the DC, the Danish communities, about it.
John Seifert, yeah.
Yeah, and you were gushing some praise about it. So tell me about this keynote. What was it?
Well, I mean, firstly, awesome light show.
Okay, there's a pyrotechnic show, or
oh well, it was just lights. I mean, I've got a very low barrier of being impressed with these things.
They had lights. There was a white light, and there was a green light.
There was blue lights as well, and a big screen. Having not gone to these things,
they had a single fog machine. It was only covering a tenth of the stage, but it was amazing.
But yeah, it was great to be in a big theatre scenario, just for having not been in that kind of setting for a while. But so I mean, John did the introduction with Bob Evans as well from Dynamic Communities, and they had 3 representatives from Microsoft. So it was Nia, Richard, and Stephanie, and And the overall message was sort of two parts. One part was very much how Microsoft are supporting hybrid digital transformation, because obviously businesses have had to change and digitally transform overnight, basically. So I have a good friend who works in local government, and many years of talking, the politics of, can we let people work from home? How's that going to work from a security standpoint? Is it going to be okay, from all of the legalities? And then literally overnight with COVID, it was like, right, you don't come in tomorrow, everyone's working from home. And we'll backfill and sort out the legalities afterwards. So it was like forced digital transformation. But so the flavor of the keynote was like, okay, well, we've now digitally transformed. And where do we go from here? And so the hybrid model, so work from anywhere, work from in the office, work from home, work from anywhere, not only from internal people, but also your customers as well. So that your customers can be at home. So that traditional model of somebody coming into a branch on the high street and going through a loan application face to face, that needs to be hybrid going forwards. And so that was very much the flavor of in terms of Microsoft, how they're investing in that. So that was the first thing. Oh, actually, there was a really good phrase that I think it was Stephanie that used, was digital concrete.
Digital concrete.
Yeah. How do we stop ourselves getting back into that digital concrete?
Right, stuck in our ways. Okay.
Yeah, that prevented us doing that digital transformation in the first place, and that digital concrete had to be broken down really quickly.
That's also a good company name or band name. No, digital concrete.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it was, and so there was a lot of talk about, well, actually, it's not going to be a world where there is no need for partners, because a lot of people were saying, okay, well, with all of this investment in technology, then there's going to be no need for partners, low code, all that kind of stuff, empowering makers. Why do you need partners? Well, the point is that partners are going to be very much needed in order to facilitate moving towards that hybrid work from anywhere type model. So that was a really good model, a really good message. But then that it segued into a focus on community. So the flip side of that is that actually a hybrid community focus needs to be there as well. And John was making it very, very clear that he was really committed to in-person events like this as well as virtual, and allowing people to be involved with the community from wherever they are. And so he announced that 2022 there's going to be another summit in Florida next year, and then the year after that they're planning as well. So he was really making it very clear that this is not the end of in-person events, it's very much alive. So yeah, it was a really, really, really positive spin on things. And I mean, I say spin, but it wasn't spin, it was just really heartfelt, and it felt like a really good culmination of where we've been over the last sort of 18 months, and coming to where we are today. So yeah, hopefully that gives you a bit of a flavour.
It does. I had no idea what to expect, and I didn't have time to think about it, because I was talking to my wife. She's like, "You're leaving. We want you to be here, focused with us before you head out." I was like, "All right, you're right. I should do that." And I was like, "Well, I don't have time to do this now, and I'll just do it when I get there." So
yeah.
So that was family winning over coming to the keynote. So I made the right decision, but I did have a little bit of FOMO there too. So.
Well, I mean, the Microsoft Teams, the Microsoft folks were really talking about the investment they're making in Teams, but I haven't really heard very much about Teams. I mean, I've not seen anybody talking about Microsoft Teams and stuff, like especially Dataverse.
Yes.
For Microsoft Teams at this conference. I mean, have you heard anyone
talking
about it?
Because Joel's not here.
Yeah, exactly. But there seems to be much more focus on the dynamics. There's still a lot of people doing dynamics, and I think it's Chris Hunter had a session called "Is Dynamics Dead?" Yes. I hadn't managed to get to that one.
I looked at it and I said, "Hey, I'm interested." And I was like, "Oh wait, that's during one of my sessions." So.
Yeah, well, of course it is. Of course it was, and the likely. But I think it was Mark Smith that originally was talking about that. I think it was a summit in Europe where he did a session saying Dynamics is dead. I think he got in trouble for it.
Along with the Power Platform. I think that's what it was.
When the Power Platform came out.
Yes.
But, just coming to an event like this, Dynamics 365 CE, still a huge number of people using it.
Yeah, I was talking to someone, and they called it CE, and it's just interesting. What do you name the thing?
I think it's officially called CE again.
Is it again, or is it?
I think it is.
Or is it the power? Is it model-driven apps?
No, I think
Dataverse? Is it
customer engagement? Is definitely.
Is that still the official title?
Thing? Yeah, I think now it is. Yeah.
Okay. Then what's Dataverse?
What is Dataverse? Well, you've got the Power Platforms, you've got Power Apps, and you get Dataverse with all these different things. So Dataverse isn't like a product.
Dataverse is the core of CE.
Yes, exactly. It's like it's a technology platform. We can get into the whole logos versus icons discussion. It's not a logo. No, is it an icon? I don't know.
Yeah, you don't have a Dataverse icon in here or sticker on.
No,
here.
You're right. I don't.
You got a Power Automate?
Yeah, I don't have it. It's like
got the
tripod. Well, you see, Dataverse has happened since the whole. I haven't really been to any conferences to get stickers. Actually, I haven't got a single sticker to put on my laptop this whole time. I need to go to these booths and find some
I think you got one last night from one of the places you gave the sales pitch to. The little thing you put on
the AR
sticker
one
too.
Yeah, but it wasn't really a Microsoft technology sticker. But it's quite big, so yeah, maybe I'll put that on there.
And there's also some stickers you've gone over, although you haven't gone over the ThinkPad red light on your laptop.
No, because I need that to tell me when it's charging or...
All right. Maybe you should just get a sticker and cut that out and put it right over the top.
You should make it like an eye.
Get an eyeball. Get an eyeball one. That would be pretty...
Like
give it like a little Terminator one or something. Would be great.
Terminator one,
look at a Terminator sticker.
Yeah. Andrew used to...
Oh, yeah.
Remember he used to have the Terminator as his avatar?
Yes. Although his newest avatar is even better.
With the beard and the
giant
glasses.
Dynamics Ds and stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
He definitely has owned that as being the best icon for someone in the community that I know of. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, so what's your plans for today then? Are you...
I'll give my 2 sessions. First one is for non-developers, just talking about what are plugins, what do they do, and how can you configure them even if you don't know how to code, sort of thing. That's that one, and then the very next one is TypeScripting the heck out of your project, out of your model-driven apps.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the brand new one that is like 3 weeks worth of figuring stuff out and getting stuff to work jammed into 50 minutes. So we'll see how that one goes. I was so thankful for the unit testing one being an hour and a half hour, 20 minutes, because normally that's like 50 minutes, and I got time for maybe 1 or 2 questions. That's it. And I've utilized all the time.
Yeah.
So that one I was able to go really slow and kind of walk through it slow, and that one that felt real nice at that pace.
So how do you find switching between TypeScript and C#? Because in your session yesterday, when you were doing the plugins and you were writing the double equals, it was setting off alarm bells. And it was like double equals. So you need a 3 equals to equate that. You kind of get used to, I guess I kind of get used to it. I mean, sometimes switching, I usually do C# in Visual Studio and the TypeScript in VS Code. And so the worst part with that is doing the command to go backwards, like Control- in Visual Studio, and it's Control back arrow in VS Code, and sometimes I do it wrong, and so I change the type. I just need to change it back to the same one. Yeah, you can set the Visual Studio profile in VS Code.
Yes.
So it's all the same keyboard shortcuts.
Yes. Well, what I really need
too easy.
Well, who knows? Yes. Thanks, Scott.
Well, anytime I'm full of these little tips.
Yeah. Well, you did give me a tip yesterday that I didn't know anything about, and that was snoozing.
Yes, I'm very
on
good
my
at snoozing.
Phone yes.
Oh, no, snoozing on your phone. No, okay.
Snoozing on my phone. Yes.
Right.
Yeah. So emails on the phone. Look, I didn't know you could snooze.
Swipe to snooze.
Emails.
Yes.
Yes.
So good. Yeah.
That also explains why whenever I try to set up a time for us to get together, it just...
I snoozed it
you're
to
snoozing
next
for
week.
Days and days.
But what's great though is when it comes back into your inbox, it looks like it's just been sent, so you don't get that sense of guilt. It's like, oh,
you don't get that sense of guilt.
I'm just dealing with an email that's just come straight into my or just snooze it. It's like the ultimate in procrastination. Snooze it for another day.
I feel like you've given me a dangerous drug as a rather large procrastinator, evident by not actually having my presentation ready to go until hour before I actually was supposed to present. So thanks, Scott.
Anytime.
Man. So, and it's been great to hang out with you and the other MVPs that have been here. And,
it really has.
And to have some physical contact in that, and be able to be in the same space, and presenting in person again has been awesome, and reminded me, because I went to a couple sessions that were for just a little bit that were virtual. The speaker was virtual as well. And I went to Heidi's session with you, and like her energy, made that happen. And I was like, wow, that was great. And I went to another one, and I was like, this is me. This is my energy on camera, and this is not going over as well as one would like. In that sense.
It's almost like if you're doing it remotely in that way, you've got to compensate for not being in the room.
Yeah, you got to step it up.
Step it up. Yeah, I mean, someone was saying yesterday, when you're doing it remotely and you don't get any feedback from the room, it kind of feels like you're just presenting to your dog.
Yes.
And the dog's just looking at you blankly, like, I don't really care. Are you going to take me for a walk or what? But the thing that, at the end of my session, there was a round of applause, and it seems like a small thing, but it really did. It made me feel so good to actually have that kind of in-person feedback.
Yes.
And during, you can see people's eyes. You can see, of course, you can't see their mouths because they're wearing masks.
I still noticed you and Nick being like, wait, why is he still talking? What's going on? Because you walked in not knowing it was an hour and 30-minute session or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was like,
wait, what? Wait.
I think they're kind of ready to be wrapped up here.
Does he just not care? Is he just going to plow on for the next 3 hours? But the feedback that you get from the in-person it's a feedback loop, because someone will comment or someone will nod, and that makes you talk a little bit more enthusiastic and confirm something, and then therefore you get a little bit more animated. But when you don't get that feedback, it's hard to sort of have that repartee with people. But yeah, I thought Heidi's session was repartee.
Rather than rapport?
Rapport, yeah. All of these things.
Interesting.
We should have a whole episode on English North American differences.
What did I say last night? No, I can't remember. Loosey-goosey.
Loosey-goosey, yes. No, that's a good phrase. Yes. I'm definitely going to use loosey-goosey more. But to be honest, you're just mocking me like my daughter does, so, I'm fairly used to it.
It's not a mock. It's more of just pointing out the hilarious differences that come up, and words that apparently are rather vulgar in the UK are not vulgar here, and vice versa.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's also interesting.
Yes.
I can go over there and swear like a sailor, I guess, not even knowing.
No, absolutely. Well, when we do our Try Not to Laugh episode, so we're going to do that. Is that going to happen?
Yes. I need to send out the invites, and I need to make sure I have a good idea of the time zones, since we have one in Australia, one in Europe, and then you on the West Coast, me on the East Coast. So we're about as spread out as you can be. So
yeah, it's going to be good. Yeah. Do you know what really drives my great aunt up the wall?
Yeah, I do. I totally know. No, what drives a great aunt up the wall?
A stair lift.
Stair lift. Yes.
Tumbleweed.
Yep, that's the reaction you're going to get in that one from me.
Not even a little snigger.
But it's up the stairs versus a wall. I mean,
no, don't kill it more. Don't analyze it.
No, I have to analyze it. That's I grew up where the dad jokes in my family came from my mom. Like, she made up her own jokes. Like, she lived on a farm. She's talked about, she's like, hey, there was these two skunks that lived on Labar Farms, and they were twins. One was named In and one was named Out, and they were out playing one day, and all of a sudden, Out couldn't find In anywhere. And goes up to Mama Skunk. Mama, I can't find In anywhere. Mama suggests a place for the skunk to go look at. So Out goes out and tries to find In. He can't find it anywhere. And goes back to Mama. I can't find In. So it's like, go out one more time. And look really, really good. And he goes out and And an hour later comes back and says, Mama, I found in. And the mama skunk said, Out. How did you find in? And out says, Mama, instinct.
Very
See,
good.
that's what I grew up with.
Very good. It's all in the delivery.
Yes.
You do that so well. It's a cool. Do you have such thing as a shaggy dog story? Is that
shaggy dog story?
I haven't heard that phrase for a long time, but it was like, when I was growing up, it was like a story, like a joke. You start telling a joke like that, except you keep going. And you keep going. And there's literally no end to it. And it's like how...
It was a dark and stormy night.
Yeah.
The character came out and said
and
it was a dark and
people
stormy
initially,
night.
like, they're really interested, and then it's like, okay, it's still going. And then it's like, start picking their teeth and walking off.
No, I like the ones that you don't know it's a joke. You don't know a joke. You're just talking, and I had one that's. I mean, it was a good minute and a half of going on the story, and then I hit the punchline. Yeah. And I told it to a coworker one time, and he like threw his stuff away, and he like walked out of the room. He's like, "No, I can't take it." And it's like, I feel like I just got joke raped.
Well, I have a secret weapon for the try not to laugh, and it's called.
Wait! If you share it, it's not secret anymore. You realize that?
Well, we've only got 3 listeners.
Okay, all right.
My secret weapon is called Ben Vollmer.
Oh,
yes. So I'm going to deploy Ben's jokes.
Are you going to dip into his vault?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, some of them may not be appropriate, but
yep, I can see that. All right, well, we'll have to look forward to that. So, well, anything else we need to cover?
Well, you know, there's so much stuff happening. I think, you know, the interactions I've had with people and the sessions I've been to and things, it's just going to kind of keep me fueled for many podcasts to come.
Many podcasts to come. Well, that's good. You've got your batteries recharged and you're ready to go.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You know, I think that's a really good note to end on, actually. You know, that when you come to community events like this and you interact with people doing the same kind of thing as you, it does feel like it kind of recharges you up. It re-enthuses you in terms of the things you do. Because sometimes when you're doing the same thing with the same technology, you know, day in, day out, it's sometimes easy to get a little bit stale. Do you find that?
Totally.
Yeah.
That's why I've got 5 sessions, and 4 sessions of which are just the same session from before. So yeah, sure, but I mean, there's always new people that are here and they never heard before. So
yeah,
I mean, and I warn usually at the beginning, hey, if you were here last year and you heard this one, go find something else to go to.
Yeah,
this doesn't change. But you're going to really enjoy this stuff. Yeah.
Well, my session later on custom pages, I spoke to a lot of people that are going to come, so I'm quite happy that I'm actually going to have a room of people, which is good. I thought there may just be a blank room, but yeah, I mean, custom pages and power effects in model-driven apps seems to be causing quite a stir. You know, people are really excited about using declarative programming rather than TypeScript, C# kind of stuff.
Yep.
Good.
Well, Scott,
it's been a pleasure.
How do people get a hold of us?
Well, have to do it. Yes, you can email us at cast@xrmtoolbox.com, or you can get hold of us on Twitter and LinkedIn at xrmtoolcast.
And you can watch us on YouTube.
You can watch us on YouTube, yes.
Well, you're doing that right now.
Absolutely.
On YouTube.
Yeah. How many views did we get last time?
I don't keep track of that stuff. We'll see. I don't know. Usually Jonas always does the best.
Yeah, no, exactly. So if we mention Jonas lots and lots of times.
Yes. Maybe we'll just have a picture, like a frame. I'll just have a frame of him.
A thumbnail.
Thumbnail of him.
We just reuse a thumbnail.
Just use a thumbnail,
of
Jonas. That's what we should do.
So we need to ask Jonas to do different expressions. And we can just use a variety of expressions.
Yes, that'd be great. We'll
have you found we're digressing a bit, have you found the people adding into PowerPoint? If you go to add icons, there's a whole round of
people.
You can add people into PowerPoint. Yeah, you have to check it out. PowerPoint, add icon, and then go over to people cutouts or something it's called. And there's like a whole cast of people doing different expressions and different. It's great. Check it out.
Images,
yeah.
Of people doing expressions.
Yep.
It's for your PowerPoint.
Like pointing at stuff and looking confused. You need a question slide? Fine, put a confused person on it.
And are these even real people? Or
they're real people.
Okay,
yeah.
right.
Yeah, and they've got names. They're different people. I may have overused them in my last presentation. because I was so excited
Well,
about them.
I mean, that's half of a good presentation is good images.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean,
With nothing to do with the content.
nothing to do with the content, just or actually trying to do stuff with the content, but not like technology wise. You know, for my packager, I had this giant wooden box thing. I was like frail, like that's the image I threw in there. That one kind of made sense. So,
well, talking of which, I probably should get off and prep my slides for my next session.
yep, I agree. All right, it's good talking to you, and great being able to sit down with you, Scott.
You too, Daryl.
All right, talk to you later.
Cheers.
Bye. This has been the Exrum Toolcast with Jonas Rapp and Daryl Labar. If you have any questions for Jonas or I, or suggestions for future episodes, please send them to cast@xrumtoolbox.com or tweet to Exrum Toolcast.